Hey guys, and welcome to Snowbreak Containment Zone. So we will have to see whether Celestial Swan Vidya is actually worth your pulls or not. So we're starting off with her skills, and this is going to be her standard skill, Red Herring. So considering that she is a support character, you won't be using much of her standard skill, but we're going through it anyway. So charge is 5. Vidya deploys Fallacy Projection, which deals chaos damage upon hit. When a target gets close to Fallacy Projection, the projection is detonated. When Vidya is deployed, Fallacy Projections are enhanced once every 1.5 seconds, up to phase 3. Increase their blast AoE damage and damage. If Vidya leaves the field, all Fallacy Projections are detonated. Vidya can shoot a Fallacy Projection to immediately detonate it. Up to 5 Fallacy Projections can exist on the field at the same time. Once this limit is exceeded, the earliest projection will be detonated, and each Fallacy Projection lasts for 999 seconds. Vidya can hold standard skill to throw a Fallacy Projection at a target in front. Okay, so if you're going to be opening up, or if you're going to be using her standard skill, definitely you have to open up her neural skill. So when the target takes damage from Fallacy Projection, increase the target damage taken from Fallacy Projections by 5% up to 5 stacks. When Fallacy Projection is detonated, can inflict the target with dazed, dealing 10% of Vidya's attack as chaos damage every 0.5 seconds for 3 seconds. So basically, the standard skill is more or less a skill damage effect, but again, it's going to be used more or less not often. And we're going straight to her support skill, which is Chain of Evidence. So this is the effects is going to be vulnerability, which is actually correct. So cooldown is going to be 5 seconds, which is short, but we're going to be talking about cooldown in a while. So energy cost is 0, so you don't need to gain S energy when you're using this skill. Okay, so when Vidya's S energy is 50 or greater, her support skill is unlocked. So continuous release. So as you click her support skill, it continuously releases that S energy up to when it comes down to 0. So Vidya enters deduction mode, deploying a Q finder that links to the target and generates a search zone around the target. The linked target defense decreases. So that's one debuff. So she has defense decrease. Next one is when the linked target takes any damage, type of damage, and an exposed secret state in the same type is triggered. The exposed secret state can be triggered every 0.4 seconds. Exposed secret decreases the corresponding resistance type of the linked target and all targets within the search zone. So not only it decreases the main target, but within the zone, within the AoE, which in the target is in the middle, there is a resistance type, decrease. And all of the linked target and all the targets within the search zone. Stacking once every 2 seconds up to 5 stacks. We don't know how big this is really because this is just stacks. There's no percentage mentioned in the skill itself. So in deduction mode, Vidya continuously consumes S energy and doesn't automatically recover it. So take note, you don't need the S energy recovery stat for this, because when S energy falls to 0, she exits deduction mode and recalls the clue finder. Can use her support skill again while in deduction mode and exit it early. If the linked target is defeated, Vidya will immediately exit deduction mode. Chain of Evidence cooldown starts when Vidya exits deduction mode. After cooldown ends, Vidya immediately restores 50 S energy. Again, so the cycle is you start out by triggering the skill, then it continuously releases S energy while decreasing defense and while giving reduction of resistance type. So as you decrease your S energy count, once you go to 0, automatically it will be back to 50 after the cooldown of 5 seconds. So that's basically it. The 5-second cooldown is what you're going to be lowering down. So you'll have to get skill haste for her. We'll dive deep more into the build guide once I get that out. There are certain combinations for her, for her set in terms of logistics. And for this one, so link target's defense reduction is 16%, and resistance reduction per stack of exposed secret is 5%. So this goes back to the 5 stacks. This is a maximum of 25% decrease in resistance type. So this is big. Okay, so for neural skills, after the link target is defeated, decrease support skill cooldown by 3 seconds. So technically you could use this with mobs, then once you kill the mob, then the quicker the cooldown is going to be, is going to become. But if this is going to be a boss, definitely you won't be triggering the first one. The second one is, if equipped with a chaos weapon, immediately inflicts 4 stacks of resistance reduction for the first time a clue finder exposed secret is triggered. So 4 stacks immediately, not starting from 5. So she will be starting at 20, which is actually very nice. So the defense reduction is going to be at 20 with this neural skill. Next is her ultimate. Her ultimate final thread is kind of, it needs a build up in terms of her attack stat. We'll go to that in a bit. So cooldown is 15 seconds, U energy cost is 0. So Vidya marks the target as a prime suspect if the target does not have a shield and its HP is less than a certain portion of Vidya's attack. This portion increases further with more U energy. Dealing damage to the target will trigger guilty verdict. Vidya consumes all U energy to deal true damage to the target equal to its current HP. Okay, let's go to the first paragraph here. So basically, you can trigger the ultimate if the enemy's HP is lower basically than Vidya's HP. Less than a certain proportion. Okay, so only one target can be marked as a prime suspect at one at a time. Using ultimate skill on another target will transfer the existing prime suspect mark to another target, starting a cooldown of 0.5 seconds. Final thread cooldown starts when there is no longer any target marked as a prime suspect. So the HP target that you are going to be targeting is 300% of Vidya's attack. Considering that Vidya, let's say for example's attack is at 4,000, so if it's at 300%, it's going to be at 12,000. So more or less, the conditions for you to trigger the ultimate is that her HP should be less than 12,000 and also doesn't have a shield. Okay, so that is the conditions. This is kind of, I find this hard to pull off. And by the time that the enemy's HP is low, it's actually easier to kill already. So basically this skill is going to be your coup de grace in terms of killing enemy. The only thing I think that you could maximize this skill is that you increase your attack percentage for Vidya. So if you could have her attack at 5,000 probably, not just 4, then it would be best. So for our neural skills, decreased defense of target marked as a prime suspect by 10%. So this gives the target an additional decrease in defense by 10%. So you could actually use this to mark the target, then shoot it later. Take note that this skill here, there's a portion here that you need to deal damage, because it's going to be dealing damage to the target will trigger guilty verdict. So this has to be Vidya. This can't be triggered with anybody on your team. Okay, so the true damage is more or less going to be ignoring defense, I think. And this one, again, this ultimate skill, you could mark the target as early as possible. You don't have to shoot it, because even if you shoot the target with Vidya, this doesn't trigger unless the shield is down and the HP requirement actually you have met. So again, this is a good debuff again to start as an add-on to the support skill. So increase the energy effect of guilty verdict trigger condition for every one U energy. Increase trigger condition by an addition of 40% of Vidya's attack plus 69. So the more U energy you have, this will give you additional triggers or conditions to be able to trigger the ultimate skill. So I hope you guys actually get it. So increase the trigger condition by an additional 40% of Vidya's attack plus 69. So it actually adds up to this one. So this is the guilty verdict trigger condition. It adds to this one. From my understanding, will increase Vidya's attack. Okay, so last one is going to be information flux for Dewa's alignment. If equipped with a chaos weapon, when a clue finder's exposed secret state is triggered, Vidya provides all other operatives with an additional attack boost equal to 8% of her attack. For each 100% alignment index ratio, increase the extra by 100%. This effect is removed for 10 seconds if the exposed secret state is changed, but this effect can be triggered again if Vidya re-enters deduction mode or if exposed secret is changed after 10 seconds. So this one, my suggestion is to leave your Dewa's alignment because you have a couple of slots in your logistics that you're going to be using most. Probably number one would be skill haste, because you want that you want the skill for the support skill to lessen than 5%, 5 seconds. And the next one I think would be attack stat. So the third priority is going to be your Dewa's alignment, and it's really an option. You don't really need to increase the boost to, it's only a boost of 1% per 100 alignment index, so it's actually very, very low. At most you could trigger probably a plus 2%. So I'd rather you guys focus on skill haste and attack percentage. So we're going back to her weapon in a bit. So we're going straight to her logistics. So this is Nebula Squad. So for 2 officers, increase full squad's attack by 24%. And at 3 officers, if equipped by Vidya Celestial Swan, she is continuously releasing support skill, increase all type damage of full squad by 15%. So this is a damage buff until she stops releasing support skill. In addition, when her S energy is less than 40, increase all type damage of full squad by 20%. So there are 2 types of buffs here. One triggered at 15% and another triggered at 20%. So this is actually nice because it gives Vidya a lot of buffs in a short time, because the window for you using that that S energy is going to be smaller, and in which case your weapon will be helping you with that. So we'll go to that in a bit. So that is her logistics, and we're gonna be talking about the stats for her build in the build guide. So we'll go straight to the manifestation. This the first one is actually very, very good because it adds on a defense decrease of 12%. That's very, very simple. That's actually big as well. For M2, if equipped with a chaos weapon, additionally it adds 2 stacks of resistance reduction the first time a clue finder's exposed secret is triggered. Max stacks is increased to 7%. So this adds a 2 stack bonus to resistance reduction, which is actually nice as well, which contributes to both of the first one. M1 is ignores defense, and this one is resistance reduction, which both of them are going to be her main debuffs. So for M3, at max stacks of resistance reduction, Exposed Secret increases attack of all other operatives. So this is your main operative basically. So this by 15%. This effect is removed if the Exposed Secret state is changed. And at M4, so these are actually buffs as well for her skills. But for M5, if a clue finder links to a target marked as a prime suspect, the target damage taken is increased by 8. So aside from if when you mark the enemy gets an inordinate defense of 10%, this will be added on if it is marked. So damage taken is increased by 8%. This is actually nice. This is not the best manifestation she has. I think it's going to be M1 and M2. This one, if you're going all out, then definitely you should take this. But definitely M1 and M2 are very, very good. You could actually stay within M1 and M2 and probably go to M3 if you're feeling that you want additional bonus to your main operative. So for her weapon, the first one is going to be her signature weapon. So this one is going to be giving her increased attack of 12%, which is actually nice, which more or less the other weapon doesn't have. So when equipping operative is left to field, decrease all type damage of full squad by 9%. So equipping operative is continuously releasing support skill, and S energy is less than 20, restores 1 S energy every 0.2 seconds. This is actually a plus. So every 0.2 seconds you gain 1. My question is the decrease in terms of the continuous release on how slow it is. So basically what this does, this slows down the continuous release and consumption of your S energy. When equipping operative starts a continuous release support skill, full squad gains Cosmic Anchor effect. If any operative deals any type of damage to the target, converts Cosmic Anchor of full squad to Cosmic Current. Increased damage of that type by 15%, increased damage of that type received by target of by 15%. When equipping operative stops continuously releasing support skill, all Cosmic Anchor and Cosmic Effect current effects are removed. So this is definitely, I'm gonna say this now, this is definitely better than your SR, because I already was able to take a look at your SR effects, but we'll go to that in a while. I'm saying that right now this is good, but once we go to your SR, it's going to be kind of not really shocking, but it's gonna it's gonna give you guys a breathing room in terms of if you want the signature weapon or if you want the SR weapon. So for SR weapon, right now I have it at tier 4. When equipping operative is continuously releasing support skill and S energy in less than 20, immediately restores 10 S energy. So this is a one-time increase in S energy. And based on what we saw with the signature weapon, both of them have restore S energy within their gun. This is the only time that they could restore S energy in between the continuous release. So this gun is actually not that bad, because this one gives her automatic 1 time 10. The signature weapon will be giving her, I think, 1 every 0.2 seconds, which is actually much better for the signature weapon. But this is the most important part of the gun that I'm actually looking at. So this can all be triggered once per skill use. So when equipping operative is continuously releasing support skill, increase all type damage of full squad by 9%, increasing an additional 4.5%. Of course, this is at tier 4 already. And every 0.5 seconds and an additional 22.5%. When equipping operative stops continuously releasing support skill, this effect is removed. Okay, so my point here in saying that this will actually help you save in terms of the signature weapon, because what is important here is the restoration of S energy, which both guns have. But the signature weapon is actually not way better. It's a little bit better than this gun. So that's the important thing or effect that I'm looking at. The rest is going to be more on the buffs that this gun gives and the signature weapon gives. So for my, my recommendation, this gun is actually a very good gun to have if you are going to be saving for for other banners, or if if you're free to play, definitely you should have this gun. This gun is actually very, very good for her. You don't really need the signature weapon unless you need all of those extra buffs that the signature weapon gives. But again, she is not a damage dealer, and from what I play tested already, this gun can do the work. You don't really need at this point to get the signature weapon. It's really for those who want a bigger damage for their team. But in terms of the S energy tweak that both guns give, both are actually giving almost the same effect. I'm gonna be doing a video tomorrow on skill rotation, a separate video, and also a build for her, another separate video. But what I'm saying right now is she is a must pull, really a must pull. She is actually going to replace your Akasha Kaguya. As I have said before, I have said in the skill review, she is basically going to be replacing Akasha Kaguya. And if you know where Akasha Kaguya is in tier 0. So basically, she'll be replacing Akasha Kaguya in that tier as well. She is an all-around support that anybody can use, but definitely she is most prized to be used by Nerida. Beside Nerida, because she's also a chaos weapon, chaos element. Plus, you can use also Mar and Riptide together with the two. So the team that you're going to be putting together is a solid team that I actually tested out is Nerida, Vidya, Celestial, Swan, and it's going to be Mar and Riptide. So those three are going to deal a lot of damage. And again, guys, this girl is not limited to that team. She can be brought by any damage dealer in the game because of her decrease in defense for the enemy and her decrease in elemental resistance for the enemy, which is actually way better than Akasha Kaguya. And might I say, she works actually insane with bosses with single target. You could go no wrong. She will really melt bosses, I tell you, together with her team. So that is it, guys. She's a must pull at this point. Please do get at least a copy of her and her SR gun. Those are the bare minimums by now. So guys, comment down in the comment section what do you think. Thank you very much for staying this far. Take care, stay safe. This is the Warden, and I'm out of here.